Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports coming at you with this Miami Dolphins mailbag. Hope everyone is having an awesome day, and if you are, if you could, go ahead and like the video. So I love doing mailbags here at Chat Sports because this gives us a chance to pick your brains, see which questions you guys want to have. So what we did is we asked you, hey, what are some questions you guys want to see on the show? Put it on the community tab. I picked out my favorites, but if you want to get on our next mailbag, how exactly do you do it? It's simple, man. You just look down at the bottom of the video. You see it down there. There's going to be a subscribe button. You click that big red button, and then you're never going to miss anything. And then, yes, you can get on our shows, but it's simple here. Next mailbag, hit that big red button and subscribe. All right, let's get into today's show. Robert Smith, get a picture. Do you think getting wide receivers from Alabama would be good to help Tua develop, or players that he's familiar with? I understand the idea of trying to bring in players that he's already worked with at Alabama. Luckily for Tua, there's two extremely talented receivers that are playing in Alabama right now. For Jalen Waddle, he might actually be the more explosive receiver. Unfortunate for him, he suffered a pretty severe injury. He is done for the season, but still in 5 games, 25 catches, 557 yards, 22.3 yards per catch, and 4 touchdowns. The issue with Waddle's numbers are they don't look all that great because his fellow teammate, DeVonta Smith, in 10 games is just putting up bananas type of numbers with Mac Jones. 83 catches, 1,327 yards, 15 touchdowns. But you know what? This wasn't the only question that we had submitted around these two extremely talented wide receivers. This one's coming in from Scott Norman. With Jalen Waddle's speed and DeVonta Smith's chemistry, first off, Jalen spelled wrong. DeVonta spelled wrong. It's all good, though. I'm not good with spelling either. Which Bama receiver is the best fit for the Dolphins? Cool question. Let's first look at Jalen Waddle, and let's look at his size. 5'10", 182 pounds. And when you really think about how big he is, a lot of people are going to say, he's a little bit undersized, which it's okay. I get it. The other part that I'm going to make here, you got Devontae Parker, okay? And you also have Preston Williams, both receivers over 6'4", 6'5". So if you wanted to go to a receiver that is a little bit more smaller, honestly, Waddle's probably even closer to like 175 pounds, I'd be okay with it. However, I am going to go with a guy like DeVonta Smith, who has just been putting up just ridiculous numbers, and you can't really teach size, and he might be the actual lighter receiver, but I'm a believer. He gets into that Miami Dolphins locker room. He starts working out with professional trainers. He could put on a few pounds. When you look at his body, it's not totally filled out. So for me, I am going to go with DeVonta Smith, but you guys knew I was going to ask the question, what is Chat Sports about? Chat Sports is about interaction. It's about picking each other's brains and going down in the comment section and stating your case. Would you pick Jalen Waddle to be the better receiver? And it's not just the better receiver in general. Who's going to be the better receiver on this Miami Dolphins offense? Who's going to be the better receiver with Tua? And I think Waddle's going to be extremely talented. He might even go ahead of Smith. But I am going to type my DS for DeVonta Smith. Next one's coming in from BXN Arc. Also, love this picture. Christmas, by far my favorite time of the year. What do you think Miami needs the most in the draft? This is a good question. So for me, I thought about it. I put in my biggest needs. Right now, my 3 biggest needs for Miami: offensive line. If you're trying to protect Tua, that's going to be your future. That's what you need to be able to do. I understand they tried to draft Austin Jackson this past year, but you could see some guys move on. You could realistically draft 3 offensive linemen if we're being honest. The linebacker position, Jerome Baker's been solid. He's a tackling machine, but could you maybe get somebody better in coverage? I know there's some good coverage linebackers out there. And then wide receiver. Continue to try to build your offense. It's unfortunate the amount of injuries that this team has sustained. However, if you can add another top maybe 1B receiver next to DeVonta Parker, next to Mike Gesicki, and if you can make Preston Williams your 3rd receiver, that's going to be one of the best wide receiver units, plus the tight end, in the entire league. Stevie Gill. I love me some Stevie Gill. He's always submitting questions, and he's always hit me up on IG too. So, Stevie, I appreciate you. If Tua continues to improve game by game, could he potentially be a top 5 quarterback next season, barring injuries? So, I'm a big fan of Tua, but top 5 for me is just a little bit too high. I would say top 10 is a possibility. I will not be able to sit here and confidently say that he's going to be a top 5 quarterback. Now, When you see quarterbacks in year 2, they are able to take a jump. Look at guys like Kyler Murray. He's having a phenomenal year this year. Lamar Jackson won his MVP. Patrick Mahomes took the next step. When you draft a quarterback in the top 5, you hope that he can. Will he be able to? We'll see. I do think that the offense is built. Chan Gailey kind of came in for Ryan Fitzpatrick, not so much for Tua. Top 5 is a little bit of a reach. But maybe if you got to get some of these top receivers in the draft or some guys in free agency, which we'll talk about here in a sec, who knows? Maybe it will be. The bottom line is this, though. Tua, he is your future. He is a franchise quarterback, and he's going to be a damn good one if he can stay healthy. So go to chatsports.com/Tua, where you can go ahead and get yourself some Tua gear. The holidays, y'all, right around the corner. And me personally, if you needed some hookups, I would try to do that. And if you guys need a t-shirt, you need a jersey, heck, face masks, and maybe your son, your daughter's favorite player is Tua. Maybe your favorite player is Tua. Or if you just need a new Dolphins gear, we got you covered. Chatsports.com/Tua. Some of those jerseys, some of the face masks are on sale. It's not just the ones that I showed on screen. It's literally like hundreds and hundreds of different kinds of Tua gear. Our Dolphins fans are excited. I hope that y'all are too. Chatsports.com/Tua. I'll put that link in the comments and in the description. Next one's coming in from Nicholas Santos Dominguez. All right, so should Miami try to add a wide receiver like Kenny Stills just for the rest of the season, given the amount of injuries to the position? It's a cool question, and I get the fact that Kenny Stills used to play for Miami and that he's a big play type of receiver, which, maybe somebody like a Jakeem Grant could also bring. But here are his numbers this past year, and he was going to make $7 million. Actually, he made $7 million. He was a trade candidate in a lot of the videos we did here at Chat Sports, and Houston decided to move on from him. So imagine not wanting to pay or being okay paying a guy $7 million for him not to play on your team. Kenny Stills was once a very talented receiver. I'm starting to think that he might be getting a little bit more washed up. The other reason why I'm going to say no, Nicholas, there's just so many other talented receivers in the draft. Remember, 4 picks in the top 50, and there's just so many other talented players in free agency at the wide receiver position, so I'm going to pass on Kenny Stills. Let's go, your boy, Marmar. That's my boy right there. Should the Dolphins sign Allen Robison or Chris Godwin or JuJu? If so, what position should they go after in the draft? I mean, I said before, I love the young Alabama receivers. I love Jamar Chase. But give me a receiver like Allen Robinson over all 3 of those guys. I like Chris Godwin, too. I mean, he's a close second for me. JuJu, then, is probably the 3rd, 4th best receiver in free agency. But I'm going to try to get to another number 1 receiver. So, yeah, I would take Allen Robinson. And if it doesn't go that route, offensive line, linebackers would be guys I would target in the draft. So how about this? I know the last guy asked about Kenny Stills. I know some people have asked about Will Fuller in the past. Here are my top 4 wide receivers in free agency. Allen Robinson, Kenny Golladay, Chris Godwin, JuJu Smith-Schuster. If you were the GM, if you're able to sign one of these receivers, who would you go out and get? Would you get Robinson, type AR, Golladay KG, Godwin CG, JS for JuJu? I'm going to tell you my AR for Allen Robinson. Jabari Victor, get a picture. Should the Dolphins go out and sign a running back like Melvin Gordon or Leonard Fournette? This one made me laugh because imagine a crazy year where you go out, you trade for Matt Breida, you sign Jordan Howard, and now you want to bring in another veteran running back in the backfield when Gaskin has been pretty damn good. Here's my point on it, though. I don't pay running backs, and I am team you can draft one for much cheaper, use him for 3 to 4 years if he's good, and then decide to move on. Nobody thought Gaskin was going to be any good. However, he was able to fit this offense a lot better. Matt Breida didn't work out. Jordan Howard was an absolute dumpster fire. And do I think Melvin Gordon and Leonard Fournette are better running backs than what the Dolphins have right now? I do. But I'm not paying Melvin Gordon the $7 million he wants to make, probably, or Leonard Fournette $4.5 million when I can just draft a running back. So no, I'm good on the RBs. Actually, RBs though does sound pretty good. Todd Fowler, there's something special going on in Miami. You know what, Todd? I think you're 100% right. And the thing that's special is going on is this is one of the fastest growing YouTube channels out there for Miami Dolphins content. I know it's a little bit of a curveball, but you know what? Maybe it was a swing and a hit. Maybe it was a swing and a miss. You guys decide. But bottom line is this. What we do here at Chat Sports is we are a team of not many people, to be honest with you, and we try to divide up our time around the YouTube channels that we think deserve it the most. And it's simple. More subs equals more videos. I mean, Tom, he makes videos every single day for the Cowboys. We make videos every single day for other teams. Why? Because we have a lot of subscribers there. So if you want more Dolphins content, subscribe. And if you already sub, turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything, and take this link that you see down below, youtube.com/DolphinsNews, and send it to some people. Let's try to get to 8,000 subs by Sunday. I think that's pretty fair. Let's go to Ian Reid. What up, Ian? Who do you think the Dolphins' weakest link on defense is? Okay, this is a cool question as well. So the defense has been a definite surprise, right? The area that I'm going to go with is I'm going to go with Noah Igbinoghene for the simple fact of he was a player when you drafted him in round 1, you were hoping that he was able to take a step up. However, Nick Needham has just outplayed him. I think we would all agree on that. And then you look at how well the defense has played. Like, the front four is playing well. You got Xavier Howard, Byron Jones are playing on just a whole nother level. And the fact that Noah Igbinoghene still can't quite get it done in the nickel definitely concerns me a little bit. I think both the safeties have played well, especially Rowe. The linebackers have been able to step up. But for me, it's Noah Igbinoghene because I expected a lot more out of the first-round pick out of Auburn. All right, does Xavier Howard deserve Defensive Player of the Year? And I do believe this is our last question. So, Gordon, you're Goran Dragic. You got on the show. I'll tell you what, man. Playing cornerback in the National Football League might be the most difficult position in all of football. For the simple fact of think about how easy it is for a receiver to get a flag, or you can't put your hands on anyone. And right now, Xavier Howard is just getting it done. I mean, the dude's got 9 interceptions this year, which is just bananas. And he made probably one of the greatest catches I've ever seen last week on Patrick Mahomes. And everyone's saying it's probably between Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers for MVP. I mean, if you pick off the MVP, I think that at least gives you an argument, right? The last time a cornerback has had double-digit interceptions was Antonio Cromartie back in 2007. It's a much, much different league. So the fact that he's got 9 interceptions, can get to double-digit picks with 3 games left, that just goes to show how dominant he's been. And I found this stat. I thought it was kind of cool. The NFL record for most interceptions in a season is 14. This was done back in 1952, I believe. The next closest then was 11 by a Cowboys player whose name is escaping me right now. That was in 1981. I mean, the numbers that Xavier Howard is putting up are just crazy good. You're also going to look at guys like Aaron Donald who are going to get sacks, and a lot of people are always drawn to that. But let's not get it twisted. If you see somebody asking questions about does Xavier Howard deserve to win Defensive Player of the Year, send them this video. Seriously, go underneath the video, click that share button, and send it to them because Xavier Howard definitely deserves to be Defensive Player of the Year. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. Go tell your friends to subscribe, and if you could, like the video. It helps us out a lot here. Hopefully, y'all have a good weekend. If you have any more questions, always hit me up IG, Twitter. I'm at MitchellRent365.